guys, I just watched the 4th episode of Disney Plus's Moon Knight series, and wow, this episode was fantastic. Let's not waste any time because I think I could probably prone along and make a 10-minute video, but I'm not going to do that. Well, I'll try not to do that anyway. This episode was very confusing to say the least. However, I think I've got a good grasp of Moon Knight knowledge and Marvel knowledge overall to help you guys understand where this is going and where maybe it will be going next week in episode 5. So, yeah, I would love to talk about the direction and everything, but I think what everyone will be most looking forward to hear me talk about is the ending. So, the ending basically leads us with Mark getting shot and he falls into this pit of water and he wakes up in this mental asylum, as we all saw. And it seems like everything that we've seen for the last 4 weeks was in Mark's head, but then he bumps into Stephen and they see a sarcophagus sort of shaking about and they escape, and then they bump into this magical hippo woman that says, "Hey," and then the episode ends and everyone is losing their minds. Is this real? Is this fake? Are Mark and Steven two separate things? Who's this hippo woman? Well, I have all the answers for that, guys, don't you worry. So basically what happens in the comics, this will be spoilers for the 2016 Lemire Moon Knight comic run, which I actually don't have at the moment, but I'm really trying to get it because a lot of people have recommended it to me and I think that'll be a good read. And if I do get it, if you guys want me to review it after I've done reading it, I will. So basically we're told to believe that obviously this isn't real, but I think this is actually all in Mark's head, yeah, because Mark was in control last, wasn't he? So I think this is all in Mark's head as he's dying, because this whole sort of construct, the mental asylum, this is the afterlife, and we know this from the hippo woman that everyone's getting confused about, and she is called Tamarek. I think, I'm really sorry if I've butchered that name, please tell me in the comments if I have, I probably have. And we know this is Tamarek because of the first episode. She gets mentioned in the very first episode. She is the god of the afterlife, of which souls get determined and sort of questioned by Amit, which obviously we know Ethan Hawke's amazing character is sort of pursuing, and he believes, and he's the avatar of Amit. So she judges you whether you should go to the afterlife or get questioned by Amit. And in the comics, it's said to believe that this whole construct is actually fake, as we're told to believe, or sorry, we're not told to believe. It's really, sorry, this is so confusing, guys. So Armor is in control of everything, but then it turns out to be in Steven's head, and the god of the afterlife, this hippo lady, she helps him sort of accept his mental illness in a way with the other two personalities. And this, you guys might be wondering, why have I got a third finger up? I'm not flipping you off. Why have I got a third finger up? Well, this is because in that sarcophagus that I mentioned earlier, this is huge spoilers, guys. So if you don't want anything spoiled, maybe skip along for like a minute or so. You've had time. So the third personality was actually in that sarcophagus, and I've been reading that Moon Knight book over the weekend, and it is fantastic. I've nearly finished it. There's a third personality called Jake Lockley, and if you guys cast your mind back to last week, there's a bit where Mark sort of phases out, and there's loads of dead people, and he's holding that bloody knife, isn't he? And he's like, "Stephen, what have you done?" He's like, "I've not done anything," and basically that was neither of them, because we see both of them black out, and Stephen in the reflection, he blacks out as well. And this was Jake Lockley, and that's the third personality that we're going to see next week, and I'm so excited that they did it, because as I was reading that book over the weekend, they started teasing him, and now I sort of understand it more, and I can help you guys, and that makes me really happy. So that's sort of the ending, if you guys are worried or anything. But also another way the ending could be for this episode is that this is actually Amit, because at the end we see Ethan Hawke's character obviously shoot Mark and take the the sort of encrusted statue of Amit. And yeah, this could also be a vision by Amit, but with the hippo lady, it makes a lot more sense that they're doing it with the comics. And I sort of need to read up a little bit more on that, so I'm a bit more prepared for next week. But this episode was fantastic. There's a really good horror scene as well, where Mark's running from this sort of, it's not a demon, it's more of like a parasitic sort of entity, if you like. And there's a really good horror chase where he goes after Mark, but then goes after Layla, and she has to like kill it. It was very grotesque, this episode, I have to say. I loved it, guys. Really sorry if I've sort of been droning on a little bit and speaking quite quickly. We're already at 5 minutes, so I don't want to make this too long for you guys. But I really enjoyed this episode. We didn't get to see the suit this episode, which was a bit strange, but there was vibes of Uncharted and The Conjuring and even Paranormal Activity. There were quite a few shots there, looked like they're on cameras and stuff. And because it was quite dark this episode, but that could be a negative, I guess. But there was a lot of positives, not many negatives. This episode was fantastic. Even IGN gave this a 9 out of 10, which obviously IGN is known for giving 7 out of 10s. But you know what, I'd probably say this is maybe the second best episode, or even the best episode. I might have to rewatch it, and I'll tell you guys what I think next week. But I'd probably give this episode probably a solid 9 to 9.5, maybe even a 9.5 to a 10 out of 10. But yeah, this episode was incredible. I loved it. I hope you guys aren't too confused. If you are still confused and I've not helped, I'm really sorry. But there will be other videos that you can find. So let me know down below what you guys are thinking. I can't wait for next week's episode. I hope you guys can't either. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.